Welcome to the deep dive. If you're here, you want to get smart fast.
That's the idea.
Today we're diving into the history of Lucknow. We've got some excerpts here from the historyoflucknow.pdf. Our mission is basically to pull out the really key historical moments that, made Lucknow what it is.
Sounds good. It's a fascinating city with a really deep past.
Definitely. So where do we start? Ancient origins. There's that mythological link, right? Lakshmanpur.
Yeah, exactly. The excerpts mention that connection to Lakshmana, and then, of course, you have the major empires rolling through the Mauryas, Kushans, Guptas.
Right. Delhi Sultanate, the Mughals eventually. So a long history of being, well, significant in the region.
Absolutely. While the really early details in these specific texts are a bit sparse, mentioning them shows this area wasn't just, empty land. It mattered for a long time.
Okay. And it seems like things really start to accelerate under the Mughals, say 16th to 18th centuries.
Yes, definitely. It became a much more important administrative hub, a cultural center too, especially during Akbar's time.
What drove that? Just strategic importance.
Partly, yeah. Its location was good for governing the Awadh region, but the real game changer, I'd say, was the rise of the Nawabs of Awadh.
Ah, okay. That kicks off with Sadat Khan, right? Around 1722.
That's the one. He becomes the first Nawab, establishing a sort of semi-autonomous power base there.
And then the big move, 1775. Asaf-ud-Daulah shifts the capital from Faizabad to Lucknow. That must have been huge.
Oh, absolutely pivotal. That move really cements Lucknow's status and, frankly, kicks off its golden age.
Golden age how? Culturally?
Big time. The Nawabs were massive patrons of the arts. You get this incredible flourishing of, well, everything. Refined manners, Urdu poetry, ghazals become huge.
In dance. Kathak.
Kathak, definitely. It's Lucknow Gharana really develops then. And the food, the Wadi cuisine, the biryanis, kebabs, we still talk about today.
Right. You can almost taste it. And the architecture, too, I assume.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The excerpts highlight the Bara Imambara and the Chota Imambara, just stunning examples of the architectural style they fostered. It was all about creating a unique, sophisticated identity.
Sounds like an amazing period. But, history keeps moving. The excerpts then talk about the British arriving, annexation in 1856.
Yes. The British East India Company steps in. They annexed Awadh using the justification of misrule by the Nawab. It was pretty typical of their expansion policy at the time.
And that leads directly into the 1857 revolt. Lucknow was right in the thick of it.
Absolutely central. Some call it the First War of Indian Independence. Lucknow was a major, major center of the uprising.
The siege of Lucknow at the Residency. That's mentioned specifically. Sounds intense.
It was incredibly fierce. A long, drawn-out siege, a real symbol of the conflict.
And the outcome.
Well, the revolt was ultimately suppressed, and importantly, in 1858, control shifted from the East India Company directly to the British Crown, a new era for India.
So under the British Raj, what happens to Lucknow? The excerpts mention modernization.
Right, you see development, infrastructure, administration changing along British lines. But crucially, Lucknow didn't lose its cultural soul,
It held on to that Nawabi legacy.
To a large extent, yes. And it also became this important center for education, for literature, and interestingly, for political movements, too.
Oh, like the independence movement later on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Figures like Jawaharlal Nehru, Sarojini Naidu, they were involved in Indian National Congress sessions held in Lucknow. It became a hub for that kind of activity as well.
Fascinating. So it adapted, kept its culture, but also became part of the national story in a new way.
Precisely. And that leads us towards the post-independence era where, as the excerpts note, Lucknow continues to grow. It's a modern state capital, a big political center, educational hub.
But still holding on to its heritage.
That seems to be the key thread. It's managed to become a major modern city without paving over its past entirely. Those historical layers are still very visible.
So if we boil it down, what's the main takeaway from this journey through Lucknow's history?
I think it's really about seeing how each era built upon the last. From the ancient whispers to Mughal administration, then that incredible Nawabi cultural peak, the trauma and transformation of the colonial period, and its role in shaping modern India.
Yeah, it's not just one thing, it's all these layers together.
Exactly. That's what gives Lucknow its really unique identity. Each phase left something significant behind.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Looking at this incredibly rich, sometimes turbulent past, how might all that history continue to influence Lucknow's path forward, culturally and politically?
That's the question, isn't it? Something to definitely ponder.
Well, thanks for exploring that with us, a truly deep dive into Lucknow.